Your monk mode is probably like a shriveled cactus, painfully unproductive. Motivation dried up, still waiting for that motivation rain that never comes. 5 years, that was me. Chasing these shiny objects, motivation constantly dried up, losing big money. But then I stopped relying on these fleeting feelings. Instead, built up a simple process to turn my own motivation faucet on, which makes 6 to 13 hour monk mode days flow naturally. So in this video, I'll show you the exact 4-step process that you can finally use to make monk mode sustainable long-term and make real progress without your motivation ever evaporating. To start, let me show you how to set your goal that inherently gushes motivation without demanding any external results. So common advice always tells you to set goals like this in order to achieve maximum results. It would be something like $1 million in 3 years with day trading. So it has a specific time, a specific result, and a specific mechanism. Sounds smart, right? Sort of like a SMART goal. But this kind of goal depends heavily on external shit that you can't control. The market crashes, a deal falls through, you suddenly get zero progress, zero motivation. The perfect combination to make you feel like shit, feel like a loser. But now compare that to a goal like this. I help men get 6 packs to improve their mental health without ever having to leave their home. The key difference is the progress here, isn't the end result. The progress is every single action you take towards your mission, every piece of advice given, every workout plan created, every small win for someone you're helping. This is what you call a meditative goal. Like meditation, the aim isn't to get enlightenment or some weird shit or clairvoyance or levitation. The aim is simply to stay in the state of meditation, stay doing the practice, and that is progress. That is the result you're seeking itself. So if you create a meditative goal, you take control of the motivation, you always make progress, and this is the first, most crucial step for sustaining monk mode. And the first thing that you need to do is just frame it as an internal mission, not a metric, similar to that goal that I mentioned. So you can use this framework. It is I help who, so this is like men in the previous example, achieve what transformation, so this is like 6-pack, by mechanism. So I don't know, you could have a specific training method like without cardio or with weights, or because I hate going to the gym, and you have your reasoning. So maybe it's I hate going to the gym, or 6-pack really helped my mental health. And this is sort of like the why behind what you're doing over here. Try to think of this right now. If you don't have it in detail, that's completely fine. The point is just get a starting point, and you're probably gonna have to think about it a ton. And as an example, the goal that I have set for this channel, which can maybe help you discover your own goal, is I help men achieve goals faster by installing monk-like focus practices, because I don't like the complex productivity bullshit that a lot of productivity gurus tell you that just wastes time, like additional shit onto your day. So try to think of this right now, even if you don't have all the details, because this is just for your own understanding. It's not like a niche for a business or anything like that. Just sort of something to keep you in your mind and refine over time to create this meditative goal. And step 2 is to focus on controllable actions. So progress equals results. So ask, did you show up and do the work aligned to your mission today? Did you write a one thing on your to-do list, or write at least a thing on your piece of paper, or whatever on your calendar, however you like to do your task tracking? If you did it, if you did that one thing, doesn't matter how small, that is a win. That is making progress. But this doesn't mean passion over profit. That's completely bullshit, guru bullshit. You need money, but instead of chasing money, you use it as an indicator, not as something to track your progress. What might be the best task or quest that you should be working on right now? Use the money that you get from it as feedback to refine your vehicle to use to make maximum impact on your mission. So once you've asked yourself if you showed up every day, if you've taken control of your actions, to make this actually work, you need to go into step 3, which is to adjust. Don't abandon. Don't ever abandon. Your mission should be refined over time as you learn, because that's fine and actually good. For example, if you go back to the framework, if it's I help men achieve a 6-pack by home workouts because I hate the gym and I cured my 6-pack, which cured my self-doubt, cured my mental health. You might start by helping just like 20-year-old men at the moment right now, but you might find that just helping them get six packs is not something that you're most specialized in. What you really specialize in was cutting out the junk food. And that was your really true unique mechanism. You have a really good method for cutting out your junk food. So you might pivot to that. Or you maybe have a specific, like, I don't know, kettlebell workout or some shit like that, or weightlifting routine. Well, then you might pivot to that or adjust to that. You still have the same core mission, the same core belief of like getting fit or staying within the fitness space for like curing your self-doubt or whatever. But instead, you just adjust it a little bit to better suit yourself. So make that meditative goal stronger to allow you to stay in that sort of state of meditation, state of progress. But you might be thinking right now, you don't even have a goal in the first place, or you really have a hard time coming up with a clear mission to dedicate your monk mode to. Well, I can help with exactly that. Top link in the description. There's a quiz, monk mode clarity quiz. I personally review all the answers every single time, write you a custom email reply to give you some pointers, some guidance, and it's completely free, at least for now. So check that out after this, or check that out right now, honestly, if you want to, and I can help you. But either way, getting back into it, now your monk modes will forever be hydrated with motivation, at least in an ideal world. Unfortunately, the world never is ideal. Some days you're just going to feel like shit. Your efforts are going to feel like it's just going into the void, going into nothingness, suffering for no meaning. That's why you need a way to turn your progress, something completely invisible in your own mind, to something immaterial, something that you can literally feel, you can see, to reignite your motivation on the daily basis. And you can do this by imagining a video game. So imagine video game A. When you play this particular game, you grind monsters, but you don't get XP, and you don't even get any loot when you kill the monsters. You just kill monsters and absolutely nothing happens. That's a shitty ass game, right? You would never play that. But if you think about video game B, or basically any normal game where you kill monsters, you will get XP, and you probably get loot as well when you kill the monsters. And at the same time, you have this XP bar where every time you kill monsters, it goes up. It visually goes up. Or you have like a quest complete. You see tangible progress in any good game. You level up, you feel a sense of achievement. And this is quite addictive, right? The visual feedback loop is incredibly motivating, making even the most repetitive things, like just straight up grinding the same monster over and over again for hours and hours and hours, feel worthwhile. So in real life, especially in monk mode, it often lacks the XP bar, something tangible to see that progress. So your monk mode feels like video game A, the shitty game that you would never play. You work your ass off, but the level ups feel distant, invisible, draining your motivation until nothing is left. You need to create your own real life XP bar, and you can practically create that in your monk mode in just 3 steps. First step is to do a daily quest. So in a lot of games, they have this concept, especially in mobile games. So with your monk mode mission, just write down 1 to 3 tasks every single day. Like without fail, I do this on a piece of paper. Just the night before, I write down my daily quest that I want to do, and I always complete it every single day. And this daily quest, honestly, sometimes if you're feeling insanely tired, could be something like sleep or rest or some shit. Or of course, like a real daily task, like today I'm filming. And number 2 is to create a quest log. So similar to the game which tracks your progress, like you have all your completed quests and you could see that and has like a reward attached to it. If you have like a physical, I literally have right here a bag where I keep all my finished to-do list. So once I complete it, I rip the page out and crumple it up and put it in this bag. That's a physical, literally an XP bar, or a real XP bar, a real quest log. Get it like a box or a bag or anything like that. And I know it sounds stupid, but I've literally been doing this for 3 years, and like every single day I feel like oh shit, you know, I ripped this page out and I crumpled it up. It gives you that like little bit of realization that your progress is actually real, no longer invisible. And step 3 is to just visualize the XP. So periodically, maybe weekly or whenever your motivation dips, just look at that bag. Honestly, it could be every day when you're putting your task in there. See how full it is. Like literally, my bag's so fucking full, and it's only been a couple of months. Maybe even dump it out. And this is really fucking stupid, but maybe even dump it out and see like that sheer amount of XP, that progress stacking up. This is physical evidence that you're actually doing something worthwhile, making progress towards your goals. It's not for nothing. And motivation will come from this. It's a direct counter to that feeling of, oh, I'm getting nowhere. I feel like I'm making no progress. All those, like, anything that makes you feel like you're just doing stuff for no reason. This will help with it. But regardless, monk mode is still quite isolating, right? You grind by yourself for hours and hours. You get this emptiness feeling, whether you see your progress or not. No one else sees the effects of your work. You feel like, oh, why am I doing this? It's just for me. Do I even matter? Because honestly, do you really care that much about yourself? This is a fast track to burnout. What most people get wrong though is real monks. They literally don't live alone, right? If you think about it. Monks don't live in solitary confinement. So why should your monk mode be like solitary confinement? It shouldn't, right? Imagine you're trying to take a photo. Like you're here, you're trying to take a photo of a friend over here. But you have the phone like right in front of your face. Like this is straight up 2 inches. You can barely see anything. There's no way you're going to take a good photo of this dude, right? You've got like bad framing, like his face is maybe like half cut out of the photo. You're way too close in order to see anything to make a good photo. You need to back up, not 2 inches, get that phone away from your face to actually take a good photo, right? Monk mode is exactly the same. Too many people think that it means pure isolation, suffering in silence. That's exactly how you get stuck in a rut, just doing the same shit that doesn't work over and over because you can't see what's wrong. You need to strategically step back to see the bigger picture of your monk mode, get other people's perspective. This will allow you to refocus. So how do you step back and get perspective when true monk mode brothers are rare as fuck, right? Other people that are actually productive are quite rare. So standard advice is just find those 5 friends, find a mentor, something like that. It's honestly, this is great advice, but if you could actually find actual people like this, you would already have done it, right? Because you've heard this advice. But honestly, I haven't really found this either. So I have a couple of things that I do instead, which I think gets a very similar effect. Step 1 is to curate your online brothers and abbots. So we're sticking with like the monk theme here, like other monks and like the head monk. So if you just go online and you find your like top 3 abbots or basically mentors. So this could be people that you subscribe to specifically on YouTube or any other social media platform. Maybe you pay for a specific product that they have released or literally pay for coaching or something like that. And also 5 to 7 sharp like brothers or other monks, so insightful peers. And maybe you can find these people in a paid product or a free community. And once you've done that, just unfollow all the other noise, because like, for example, if your subscriber feed is filled up with a whole bunch of garbage, it's going to get messed up, right? You only want to see those like 5 abbots, those 5 mentors or top 3. This is your new focus inner circle. Once you've done that, curated your online space, it's almost as effective. In person, real people are obviously better, but when you feel isolated, since you do this curation, anytime you scroll, you see the golden nuggets of knowledge and then just use it. It'll kick you back because these people are also what you've sort of designated as very focused monk mode like people. But obviously the end goal is to actually connect to real brothers. So step 2 is to ship your work. The fastest way to connect to real brothers, think about it, is to put out quality work very consistently, because they'll see that work and people that are similar to you, or essentially quality brothers or other monks, will flock to that work and you could eventually potentially connect to them. And just a couple of tips to do that most effectively is just pick one platform. Whatever platform you're on most, maybe you've heard this before, just share your mission focus, stay mission focused. Content, solutions, thoughts, ideas, anything like that. You'll get real feedback from real people, and even honestly, silence, like no looks, no views, is feedback in itself. Maybe your ideas are shit, right? This allows you to build your public assets. So if you want to start a business, boom, this is your marketing channel. If you want to start a career, boom, this is your online resume. If you want to start to connect with others, boom, you have proof of skill. You're just like one DM away from the person that commented from your video or whatever, or another creator in a space. They see your proof of work and like, oh shit, could be good to connect to that guy. So this isn't about being social, right? It's about being strategic, to curate your inputs to get the most impactful outputs. That's how your monk mode always stays sharp, connected, and fulfilling, even if you're grinding solo most of the time. Although sometimes, even if you're not alone, your work just starts to feel stale if you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again, it feels boring no matter how much progress you're actually making. For that reason, let me show you a powerful method. So powerful that Steve Jobs literally used it himself as motivation to create an iPhone. So most people don't actually know this, but before Apple or before iPhones were created, Steve Jobs took a trip to India straight up. And he lived there as like sort of a monk for I think a few months. He absorbed the culture, like went and like meditated and shit, studied like the yogic practices, and saw all the different ways of thinking, all the different like minimalist aesthetics that they had within the temples. This period of basically intense inputs and reflection sparked some of like the super innovative ideas and philosophies of like this user-centric stuff that Steve Jobs put within the iPhones, or basically all the things that eventually allowed him to come up with something like the iPhone with all those different inputs that he had throughout that exploration to get this legit life-changing, world-altering output. So if all you do is monk mode and you just grind on output without strategically seeking fresh inputs, well, your ideas will run dry, your brain will shrivel, your work will become stale, and your motivation will plummet because you'll feel like you're just producing the same old shit. You need your own India trip. Okay, so how do you practically take your own India trip without just becoming like aimless, degenerate, traveling and time wasting? I know you've seen those people that just travel for no reason. And the first step is to recognize when you have creative dehydration. And you can recognize by asking yourself the question of, do you have any of the following reoccurring thoughts in your mind? So like, oh, I just got to get this done. Oh, I should just get it over with, get this work over with. Or whenever you start something, you're just like, oh, I just need to finish this shit and I can go like do whatever. These are all signs that you're just falling into a pattern of just grinding. You have no fresh ideas. You're not interested. Your curiosity is not engaged. You're bored. So when you spot any of these dehydration signals, you want to go into step 2, which is consciously decide to shift from output to input, because you're dehydrated because you don't have enough fresh inputs to create good outputs like Steve Jobs. So shift. So what could this look like? Any of these following obviously could be like an actual trip, sort of like Steve Jobs, to explore like some sort of culture, or like go into a Buddhist temple or something. But I think if you just have like a few hours or even a few days, a lot of these could be very good to collect input. So watching an informative, long-form YouTube videos, watching an interesting documentary, listening to a podcast, read a book, take a online course, talk to AI. Literally, like Gemini has a learning coach that you can just like literally fuck around with. It's like, I want to learn whatever, and it'll just talk to you and help you learn that particular thing. Even if it's slightly off topic, the key is just informative. Your brain will make the connections and allow you to form new outputs. Then with that, of course, you need to go into step 3, which is to let it spark. So don't try to immediately take action or anything like that. I know everyone tells you to like, oh, just take action all the time. Stop watching these stupid fucking videos or stop absorbing stuff. But if you take an action too much, you keep doing the same thing, you're dried up. If you just absorb for now, soon you will realize that you're so full of ideas, so full of inputs that like ideas, solutions, they'll start gushing out of your mind. And through those new ideas, that like fresh insight, you'll get motivation again that will naturally emerge from those desires to try these new things, try to create these new outputs from the inputs that you've gotten. So you return to your monk mode renewed. You have the 4 steps to internally generate motivation to sustain your monk mode. Well, at least in theory, because even with endless motivation, you still face endless distractions, right? Endless temptations that put you out of your monk mode, whether you want to or not. Motivations will keep you going only if you totally wipe away distractions. Well, you can do exactly that by watching this video right here next, where I'll show you the DIRT method, which is a method to cleanse all your distractions, preparing you the perfect clean slate for your newly motivated monk mode. So watch this right now. Get rid of all your distractions.